Kenya raised a legitimate economic question about whether the exit of white farmers would affect South Africa's agricultural economy. The South African delegation gave a mature, nuanced response. President Ramaphosa explained that his Minister of Agriculture, a white man from an opposition party, joined his government specifically to tackle the complex challenges in agriculture, including farm safety and racial equity in land ownership. The minister added that most farmers, white and black, want to stay and work through these challenges together. This is what democratic, multiracial governance looks like. That is what post-apartheid progress looks like. Messy, but committed to fairness. Trump, however, hijacks the moment. He ignores the efforts of South Africans to manage their own affairs. Instead, he went straight for the most inflammatory trope. Why hasn't Julius Malema been arrested? Wait, what? Do you even understand how democracy works? South Africa is a constitutional democracy. Ramaphosa can't just wake up and arrest the leader of an opposition party because he doesn't like his campaign rhetoric. That's not how the rule of law works. Not in South Africa, not in any functioning democracy. And more importantly, South Africa is not a U.S. protectorate. It's an independent sovereign state with its own legal system, its own constitution, and its own political complexities. You don't get to make demands. You don't get to dictate who stays and who goes. But my people, this right here is the deeper problem, right? Western powers still believe they have the right to meddle in African affairs, to call the shots, to question our leaders like they're governors of some colonial outpost. And when they don't like who's in charge, they fund the opposition, they stir the pot, they fuel the division, they whisper in the ears of discontent. This is how internal conflict is created and sustained across the continent. They say, we don't like what this leader is doing. Let's support the other guy. Let's create pressure. Let's make it look like chaos. That is what Trump is doing here. Not just projecting his own authoritarian fantasies, but reinforcing a long legacy of imperial interference disguised as concern. The message is clear. If Africa stands up for itself, governs itself, corrects its injustices on its own terms, they will question your right to do so. They will insert themselves. They will gaslight you with fear. And that's not just dangerous, it's haunting. Because we've seen this movie before in Congo, in Libya, in Sudan, in Haiti. And we're not going back. No. Let's keep going.